we dictate about, something we always say, we say, we're never on time or in time, off time. What is time? Even the celebrations, you might say, Swami, anyway, we still celebrate the New Year. Okay, wait for it. Because I personally tried to do some little research and find out, come on, where are we common? We keep saying at the end of the day we are common. Yeah, let me tell you where we are common. There are so many different ways of celebrating the New Year. We celebrate by lamps. Diwali, Divo Praktavya. I'm being very, very, very simple. I'm not trying to complicate it more. In Scotland, they celebrate the New Year by waving fireballs. Diwali, because they're far stronger. The Scots are really huge. Their game is throwing tree trunks. Gilli danda nahi. They would carry tree trunks and they throw them. This is Scottish people, really strong people. They celebrate the New Year by waving huge fireballs. As if that's not enough, in Panama and Ecuador, they burn the effigies of their enemies to celebrate the New Year. They burn their effigies of their enemies to celebrate the New Year. Everybody does this. That means everybody has an enemy. Samjhi gaya ne? It's a time of celebration by destroying the evil and the strongest evil that tamne nade che first. That's how they celebrate their New Year. But Italy, old Roman custom, if you are on a New Year day, please don't travel through the streets of Italy. There is still a custom from the first floor or the second floor of throwing old things out, like old refrigerators, old television sets. You'll see them flying down. To get rid of old things is a way of celebrating the New Year. આપણે શું થાય? દિવાળી પહેલાં સાફ સુફી કરીએ કે આ નથી જરૂર, આ નથી જરૂર, આ નથી જરૂર, ભેગું કરીને પછી છેલ્લે જ કે આમ તો બધું કામ લાગે એવું છે. I'll tell you, it's not just happening to you, it also happens to me. So I am trying to tell you, we try and celebrate the New Year in so many different ways and systems. Italy throws old stuff out. Hungary, there's a strong belief. Then don't remove anything from your house in the New Year, because if you do, the New Year will make you penniless. I think the founder must be some Ahmedabadi. We have our roots in Hungary as well, but still, I am trying to tell you, these are the beliefs and cultures, traditions which go deeper than just firecrackers, fireworks, sweets, homilies. These are different and ingrained things in different cultures of different places at different times. In Spain, a very interesting custom, every Spaniard, at the stroke of 12, they would have 12 grapes in front of them. Samjhi gaya? At every shine of every gong of the 12 o'clock, midnight, they would take one grape at every. There's a custom of eating 12 grapes. And why? If the grape is sweet, that month will be sweet. When you get a sour grape, that month is dangerous. You don't know which grape, what time, what sort, what is there. Ultimately, I am telling you, different countries, different cultures, there's a hordes of way of celebrating time, even the most celebrated day on this earth. But still wait for it. In Denmark, most Danish people, I'm not talking about the old, there is a custom at 12 o'clock at midnight, just before the New Year, everybody climbs on chairs. To jump off chairs, Bharat bhai, to jump off chairs, the farther you jump, the better your New Year. This is a custom in Denmark, and another unusual custom which people value. I'm not saying this in sarcasm, I am just trying to tell you, where are we common and how are we common, or are we really common? There is a custom which is also widespread in Denmark, that on New Year's night, Eve, everybody takes crockeries, old crockeries. There is a custom of throwing plates at your next door neighbor or your other people's doors. The more the plates you throw, and the more the fragments there are, that's how many friends you will find in the New Year. આપણે તો બાજુવાળાને જો તમે તપેલી નાખો, That's how many friends become less. Uh, but look at them. This is how they're doing it in Ireland. Please, I distance myself from this custom. I'm putting a waiver. In Ireland, there's a tradition, there's a belief that on New Year's Day, the first person that comes to your home, if he is a tall, dark, handsome man, he'll bring you good luck. If the person is a red-haired woman, she's going to bring you bad luck, especially if you are married. There is a custom, this custom is an old tradition which people can't grow out or over. I don't think we believe in each one of them. We are just trying to explore how people are influenced. But at the same time, in Greece, this is for the Swaminarayans. In Greece, there is a custom that you welcome the new year with onions. So I have to also accept that if you are in Greece, you welcome the new year with onions. So you tie an onion. આપણે બહુ ચિંતા કરવા નથી જતા. આપણે કહે ને મરચા લીંબુનો આપણો દેશ છે, ભલા માણસ ડુંગળીનો પણ દેશ છે. So in Greece, they would tie onions, and there is a custom of waking your loved ones up by hitting them gently on the head with an onion. And just as we break open the coconut, when you enter your home, you break open a pomegranate. Dadam ne vadherine, they enter their homes in Greece. Still wait for it. In Argentina, there is a custom. In Colombia, there is a custom where you will find old people, young people, children walking on the streets in their home with empty suitcases. They believe the more you walk with empty suitcases in the new year, the more travel you will have in the new year. I am telling you, look at the way people celebrate the new year. In Finland and Germany, most of the New Year's night is spent how? They take lead, sisu. They warm it on a candle. And once it's melted, they throw it in an ice bucket. The moment that lead freezes, it creates shapes. Whole New Year's night is spent in trying to interpret the shapes that you have created, which will predict your future. This is how they spend the new year. But in Mexico and most Latin American countries, there is a custom. Again, I'm distancing myself from this. There is a custom in Mexico and most of the South American countries. They say your new year is determined by the color of the undergarment you wear. If you wear red, you'll get good luck. If you wear yellow, you'll find more friends. And if you wear green, you will have good health. But if you wear mixed colors, you'll get nothing. So ultimately, this is the custom. But ultimately, people have beliefs which are ingrained in their bloodstream, in their culture which they practice. And in Bali, if any one of you has ever visited Bali on a New Year's Day, and I salute them, something that we all must learn, the New Year in entire Bali is spent with just silence. Even the tourists are requested not to travel by cars. There are no cars on the road. Nobody talks. No TV programs. Everything goes into silence. The New Year is a time to reflect. It's not just time to celebrate. I believe we'll only be able to celebrate something if we have the power to reflect. Of course, I just explained to you that look at time. It is invisible. Who has seen it? Who has touched it? Who has talked to it? It is intangible. And from the amount of variety this time has created, it is actually incomprehensible. If somebody tells me I understand time, still a concept which is actually imaginary until we find out, look, perhaps we live at a time in society that our civilization is perhaps most advanced, is considered intellectual. When it comes down to religious matters, we always say we are rational. I ask all of you rational people here, and you go and tap on any rational soul and tell him, if you can explain to me what is time, we don't, still we live by time. A concept which is imaginary, intangible, a concept which is incomprehensible, invisible, still it determines, dictates, and dominates our life. How? We wake up in the morning by the alarm clock. The last look we have before we go to sleep is the clock. Our day begins and we plan by minutes and seconds, we plan by time. We eat by time. 1 વાગી ગયો, ભૂખ હોય નહીં તોય બેસી જાય. I'm telling you very clearly. Nathi toy besi jai. I think, but still we are technically dictated. There's nothing wrong. I'm not trying to say there's something wrong. I'm trying to make you feel aware that how pervasive this idea of time is in trying to take care of our lives. You are admitted into school by time. The little child doesn't even know. 2 વર્ષ કે 3 વર્ષ મેં બેસાડી જ દે. હવે તો પ્રી સ્કૂલ થઈ ગયું. I don't know કેટલી પ્રી સ્કૂલ થઈ ગયું. Just today I found out one of our devotees, he said his daughter was taking the little boy who was just 1.5 years old to a school. I said, what? School? No, they're just teaching them nursery rhymes. I said, મારી ઓફિસમાં લઈ આવો. અહીંયા બેસશે. A child wants to soak environment. He wants to learn through feeling. He doesn't want to learn through your lectures. The 5 senses, he wants to explore. That aside, we are admitted into school by time. We get married by time. આપણે ત્યાં તો કહેવાય 25 વર્ષ થઈ ગયા, હવે પતી ગયું. Why are we so worried? And I don't think any community or culture is as worried about time as us. કે સ્વામી હવે ઉંમર વધતી જાય છે, ભગવાનને પ્રાર્થના કરો. You understand, you know? આ બધા જ કહેનાર છે. All these people અહીંયા સામે જોઉં છું, they are laughing at me, I'm laughing back. Many of you are sitting here. But they keep saying કે સ્વામી ઉંમર વધતી જાય છે, આ છે. We are so dominated by time. Forget about that. We go to work on time. If we are late, penalized by time. If we work more time, then overtime we get better paid. Double the pay, overtime. Even if we invest in banks, we get interest by time. And if you do something wrong, you serve a sentence you do time in the prison. If you behave well, then your time sentence is reduced. Think about it. I am telling you that everything that we say, even if you are capable and you don't want to retire, you get done in by time. Most of government officers are always seeking favors for extension of time. I know. And I tell you the truth, time dominates us to so much extent. We also measure our lives by time. કોક પૂછે કે શું થયું કે he went to Dham. આપણે લોકો 80, એ તો બરાબર છે લે. He just died. And you say, oh, 80 is fine. Suddenly we accept because it's the right time, he's gone. No. I'm trying to say, see how we are ruled and dictated by a concept which is so invisible, so intangible, so incomprehensible. Now my problem is, how will we ever celebrate life by time? And I've come here to tell you that even if you have a little faith in an invisible, imaginary, intangible, incomprehensible concept like time, it makes your physical life very orderly. There's nothing wrong. It makes your life much more orderly, even if you have a little faith. Hoy ke na hoy, this faith is driving us. I have just come to reveal a secret. Again, this is not read, and I don't have any scriptural background, meaning backing, but I want you to explore. Explore an idea. The only way we can celebrate life with time is by stopping time. Do we have the means of stopping time? Do we have the capability of going beyond time? The moment we learn the secret of going beyond time or stopping time, that would be the moment which will give you that power to celebrate life with time. And ultimately, I want to tell you very honestly, that there have been moments in our life. See, you may measure your life by time. Puchu, kitli umar thi? So you will tell me 45, 62, 72. But if I ask you, Larry Saib, what did you do yesterday? If I ask him, what did you do yesterday? You will not remember minute to minute, hour to hour. You will remember 5, 6 moments. Gaya, saru ryu, santi rahi, pravachan karyu, ચર્ચા કરી આ એક વિચાર આવ્યો અને સોમનાથનો ઉદ્ધાર થયો. Ultimately, I am telling you, you yourself don't remember 24 hours of your life, right? You only remember moments. If I ask you, what did you do 10 years ago? Mukesh bhai, you're more intelligent. You're a chartered accountant. Come on. You are a calculative person. What did you do 10 years ago? You don't, I don't, nobody remembers. Okay, let's make it more simple and more specific. You know, what did you do when you were 12 years old? Ajay Bhai. He's a reporter. They were never wrong. They are always first with the news. And once they are right, they print back news as well. We said this 1 month before. Nobody is more conscious of time before, past, present than the media people. But I'm asking you, what did you do when you were 12 years old? You don't remember. I'm telling you, if you are not bothered to remember every minute of your life, who else is? Nobody. We measure our lives by time, but we preserve our lives with moments. What you are your moments that you remember. If you don't remember anything, then technically you are nothing. Let me tell you. The most powerful thing that you possess in your heart, in your mind, are the moments of your own life. And those moments are sometimes so powerful, so overwhelming. You know Sachin Tendulkar, one of the most successful sportsmen that India has produced, who has brought so much moments of pride for us, excitement. You know what he said? He says that all my achievements, all my life, all my moments, everything, every year passes or fades into insignificance to the one moment in 2011 in Mumbai when India won the World Cup against Sri Lanka. And when I touched the World Cup, everything else is irrelevant for me because that moment was the strongest moment I had. Whenever I think of that moment, I am back in the stadium. Look at the power of moments. Whenever I think of the feeling, I hear the crowds cheering. Even when I am down in a little bit in the dumps, whenever I think of that moment has the power to uplift me. I think you are aware where I'm leading you. There is so much power in the so seeming insignificant moment of your life. It has the power. Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, the boxing giant who had the nerve of throwing the gold medal into the river. So clear. He was a philanthropist, whatever his other habits may have been or could have been, I'm not concerned, but he often said that not winning the World Cup, not winning the World Championship, not winning here, not this Joe Frazier fight or whatever fights he has done, he often said that when I lost somebody stole my bike. At 12 years, he had a bike. He had gone to his friends, to a restaurant. Somebody stole his bike. As a very thin, scroggy little child, he started crying and complaining. Somebody said, go to the police officer and complain. The police officer, Joe Martin, he happened to be in a gymnasium. When he went into the gym, Ali writes that the smell, the sweat, the sounds, the exercise, the touch of the boxing gloves. When Joe Martin said, you are too weak, if you want to wallop the guy who stole your bike, first build your muscles and start boxing. He said, that moment was so defining for me, that it changed the course of my life, and everything goes back to that moment. In each of us, each of our lives, there are moments which are defining. There are moments which are uplifting. But the problem with us, we are so captivated by studying the moments of celebrities. We forget that in one way or another, you yourself are a celebrity. If you go back to your own moment, then you'll find out no moment of a celebrity will uplift you. Your own priceless moments will uplift you. They have the power. And I want to tell you an example of a celebrity. Somebody, again, his life would have been whatever his life is, but I want to explain to you somebody, a great author, Oscar Wilde. His life wasn't that good, because that I have to confess as well. But if anybody has read Oscar Wilde, the master of epigrams, the plays that he wrote, the importance of being earnest, The Happy Prince, so many plays and so many books that Oscar Wilde has written. At the age of 26, he had become a celebrity. In his lifetime, he has written more than 125 books and 76 plays, which have become like almost bestsellers. Oscar Wilde, he was about to be jailed because in that time, he had declared that he was homosexual. So the public and society could not take it, and it was a crime in that society at that time. He was an Irishman. When he was about to be pushed into jail, all the people who loved him once, who valued him, had all gathered around him. There was a crowd, and all the crowd was shouting, booing, swearing, cursing Oscar Wilde, as if they had felt let down. Oscar Wilde writes, as I was being hustled and pushed into that cell, prison, in the middle of that crowd and shouting and cursing, there was one old man. He stepped up, lowered his head, and just lifted his hat. That single gesture of respect for me silenced the crowd. And as I went into the prison, he writes, till this day, I do not know who that man was. I do not know his name or why he did that. But I want to write to you, when all my books and plays have been turned to dust, when all my phrases have become barren, when everything I have given to the world is useless, this simple gesture of respect by an unknown man made my desert bloom. It is one moment that I can never forget because of an unknown gesture. Priceless moments are moments that bring back life into you. It may not have to be great moments by a big person, Sanman, Man. That may not be. It could be simple turns that your life has taken, maybe something by your mother, somebody by a neighbor, something by a total stranger. I am trying to tell you that by exploring the world around us, we sometimes remain most unexplored property of our life. If you start exploring your own self, you and me will discover something that is far different or something more important than you can conceive. The Greeks had a beautiful term for this, and the Greeks called it kairos. Go home, look up the word, Kairos. And the Greeks call this kairos, and the interpretation and the meaning of this word is very simple. The meaning is right and opportune moment. Sometimes in life, like I said, we are dramatically overwhelmed. Sometimes we are overjoyed. Sometimes it could be a feeling of sadness. Sometimes when you lose somebody who is near you, suddenly you are overcome by grief. I'm not telling you it's just joy. It could be a very strong, powerful moment that sinks deep in your heart, and it becomes a defining moment that can change the course of your life, that can change the course of your thinking. Sometimes you feel rejected. There have been times where big scientists have been rejected again and again, and from that they have grown. The Kairos moment for Mahatma Gandhi would be being thrown off the train. Remember, at Petersmaritzburg, the Kairos moment for Mahatma Gandhi could have been, I'm not saying he has written this, but the fact he was thrown off that train and the course of his life changed and the course and destiny of India changed. We are thankful for a priceless moment. It doesn't have to be the best and the loved. It has to be the powerful. હવે તમે મને કહેશો સ્વામી મને બહુ દુઃખ પડે છે. Yes, from that pain you can find the moment. Don't tell me that only joy and happiness and smiles fill the world. There are times when you shed tears. There are times when you are shocked and overcome and overwhelmed. So the Greeks called it kairos. And they said these moments are such, whether joy, whether emotion, whether sadness, they are so dramatic that for that moment time stands still. When Pramukh Swami passed away, I experienced that. My whole world faded. Time stood still. And as I tell you, I'm telling you from the experience that I have felt, I'm not telling you something from the books. So there are moments where time stands still, where everything is irrelevant. It's so overwhelming that you feel this is the world. Everybody has experienced those moments. And in the Hindu word, it would be Satyanikshano, where sometimes you get a flash of enlightenment. Sometimes you get some wisdom, some knowledge that would help you shape. Or more better, it would be the best word that I feel that could be for this, it would be Kalatit Kshana. Timeless moments, moments that lift you beyond time. And genuinely, I want to tell you, dig into your own hearts. Each one of you has a treasure. But because we constantly think that the solution to my problems lie outside me, it has turned us into beggars. We constantly want other people to solve our problems. Dig into your own heart. Open the treasure chest which you have never touched. Remove the dust. Go back tonight. Identify which were the 3 or 4 or 5, even if you have one, which were those moments that have really made you. And then I'll also teach you a secret how those moments can become